Today, we become something else. Tomiko, I'll need an iron pot, a drinking bowl, and a very big fire. Ginger, bring some paper and bowl. We have all seen darkness. Some have been that darkness.
At this time, you see the driver turn back and shift over his left hand side of his right shoulder and shoot the president directly in the head.
Good evening and welcome to We Lie to You News. After 62 years, the JFK files have been released by President Trump. Over 80,000 pages to be exact. What are the secrets we've learned so far? Who orchestrated the assassination? Do we now have the answer to pull the trigger? And what's the real explanation behind the magic bullet? Is the CIA or Israel implicated? Well, in tonight's special JFK files / the CIA and Israel are certainly innocent report, we'll tell you everything you need to know and also what questions are still unanswered. Starting with the bombshell, the now declassified files revealed there was a CIA consultant named Gary Underhill. The documents state that the day after the assassination, Underhill showed up at the home of friends, very agitated, and he told his friends a small clique within the CIA was responsible for the assassination. He also told his friend that he was afraid for his life. Underhill's friends say he was sober and report that he told them that the CIA could have murdered the president. It's because they were carrying on a lucrative racket in gun running, narcotics, and other contraband. 6 months later, he was found dead in his apartment, shot to death. Very surprisingly, it was ruled suicide. However, now declassified files go on to say the verdict of suicide is by no means convincing. How so? Well, Underhill was shot behind the left ear with an automatic pistol found under his left side. Given that he was raped. However, Hillary Clinton and the Oakland executive team have weighed in on the matter and stated, sure as hell sounds like a suicide to us. Now, does this newly revealed part of the Kennedy files prove that the CIA killed Kennedy? No. It just proves that the CIA covered up that a CIA consultant was telling people that a small clique within the CIA killed Kennedy. It also covered up that he was innocent. But why would the CIA cover all that up if they're innocent? Answer. Probably because they just didn't want people to see. Next, we've learned that definitely lone gunman Lee Harvey Oswald was being closely tracked by the CIA. We also now learn that Jack Ruby, who killed Oswald once he was in police custody, had met with Oswald at a nightclub weeks before JFK was assassinated. Does this prove the CIA is guilty? No. It just proves that the CIA didn't want to witness for some reason because they've been declassified for 62 years. For that matter, we've also learned that authorities were alerted in advance of Oswald being killed by Jack Ruby. If you put your thinking caps on for a moment, that either means that Jack Ruby alerted authorities themselves, or it means that the FBI and CIA didn't investigate any ties to people that would be using Jack Ruby to silence Oswald. Should have investigated further, but didn't for some reason. We also learned that a British newspaper received a tip that Kennedy would be killed 25 minutes before Kennedy was killed. And consider that the CIA's official report is that Oswald was a lone gunman. Period. So that means it must have been Oswald who contacted the British newspaper. Or it means that other people were in on it too, and the CIA's official report is wrong. The Kennedy files also have some rather intriguing mentions of Israel. And they also have the CIA with intriguing mentions to specifically not mention Israel, through stamped requests to specifically redact mentions of Israel. We also learned that Israeli intelligence was feeding CIA operations. We also learned of a report where an arms dealer named Bashir made a comment the day before the assassination. We now have plenty of money. Our new backers are Jews, as soon as we or they take care of Kennedy. End quote. So what does this new information being exposed prove? Well, it proves that the CIA didn't want you to know any of this for 62 years. They still don't want you to know, but now you do. Also earning an honorable mention from the Kennedy files, in 1994, Joe Biden was called a traitor. That one withstands the test of time. These are the highlights of what we've learned so far from the JFK files being released. Now here are the questions we still don't have answers to. Who actually pulled the trigger? Was it Oswald? Or is Hillary Clinton forensics to be applied here, where we also rule JFK's death a suicide? Also, no explanation for the magic bullet from the lone gunman. Here's how we're told that works.
A single bullet caused 6 wounds while staying intact. But many argue that the bullet's trajectory is impossible. The angles just don't add up.
A bullet that defies the laws of physics causes 6 different wounds, doesn't even show the damage of a single wound, and is found on a hospital gurney after someone put it there. Is still the official name. That's it for tonight's special report on the release of the JFK files. Stay tuned for more breaking news that we've yet to obtain, because 80,000 very hard to read documents is a lot to get through and something I'm pretty unwilling to do. Basically just waiting for other people to post about what they find online, because this is real journalism. Good night! I live a stressful lifestyle, but it's all my fault. I'm not a victim. And to be honest with you, I'm probably not going to change my ways, because I love living a life of adventure, purpose, parenting, having fun, and being awake. So naturally, I'm always looking for ways to balance my body, feel more grounded, sleep better, and reduce my stress. So I'm excited to tell you about a couple of my favorite tools I use to accomplish just that. The first is the Bond Charge Infrared PEMF mat. It combines 2 powerful healing technologies to create the ultimate recovery tool. It generates pulsed electromagnetic frequencies that ground you in the Earth's natural magnetic field. And the red light and infrared light help reduce inflammation and speed muscle recovery. And to get the best results possible following my infrared PEMF mat session, I get in my Bond Charge Infrared Sauna Blanket. I love it because it helps me de-stress even further, relax better, sleep better, and helps me detoxify. Not that I have any toxic masculinity. If you don't want to be a victim of your stressful lifestyle, then check out the Bond Charge Infrared PEMF mat and the Infrared Sauna Blanket only at bondcharge.com/JP. And because you're a viewer of mine, be sure to use the discount code JP to get 15% off everything Bond Charge offers. Enjoy.
Are you joining Doge? Yeah, maybe I will.
So Democrats are being called out by their own party for their behavior doing.
Jesus, bro, like this is some like millennial whose entire personality is watching The Office level energy. It's bad. It's real bad.
President Trump's address to Congress.
That is how you save democracy, by quietly dissenting or bidding on an antique tea set. It was hard to tell what was going on.
I don't know who thought up the bingo signs, but they should be.
This is an indictment, in my opinion.
What we saw, the theatrics tonight in the chamber, are not being well received.
I will say, I think there were times when they should have.
And even Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman expressed his disappointment on social media. It only makes Trump look presidential and restrained. Local car alarms that no one pays attention to. Winning method.
Like this guy. Everything he says, but
Joining us right now is the host of Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Awesome
He puts his
analogy.
name in
Yep.
every show he's on. Piers Morgan, great. And we don't even talk about you.
yeah.
Watching you try to interview the head of world football. Comical things I've witnessed.
He's talking about soccer, by the way. Don't get confused.
Over here on the floor.
Right.
Yeah.
Very well done, Norris, but that was embarrassing.
I love you. I love you. We have to defend our American sport. It's called soccer.
It is football.
Don't you want to defend me?
Yes, I'm Ryan.
About America.
Don't come into
You mean real
our
football? Yeah. No, I mean the football you play with your hands.
Smiling face. So what do you think? What about Democrats against
What do I
Democrats?
think? Here's what I think. I think it was one. I was watching it live here in New York. I thought it was one of the most pathetic, petty, shameful things I've ever witnessed, and it went on.
He's so right. He's so fucking right. Yep.
And on and on. And, you know, back in the UK, we have Parliament. It gets very rowdy, very noisy.
Yeah.
They all have a pop at each other. They lock horns. What you would never see is somebody like that 13-year-old boy.
Look at their face, bro. Like, this is what I was saying, bro. Like, you really think you get a 22-year-old guy to be like, yeah, this is what I want. Yeah, I want these people to tell me what to think. Nah, bro. Nah, that shit is done.
A brain cancer survivor who's been through 12 surgeries, I think, who's being there, having his dream lived out on global television, and Donald Trump has facilitated that. Just get up and applaud that boy. The fact they couldn't even do that, I thought was just contemptible. I really did.
It looks stupid. It was an optical mistake, and they should have gotten up and clapped for it. And then also, like, we always have one of these people in chat. Why do we shit on Dems? But whenever MTG and Bobart screaming during Biden's speech gets a pass, when did I give them a pass? When did I do that? I'm curious when I did that. I mean, there's got to be a reason, right? I mean, it's not like he just. I mean, there's no way he just like imagined this, is it? He's not about to roach out, is he? You're not about to roach out. You've been typing for a bit. You've been having all kinds of opinions. You've been having all kinds of opinions, but now you get pulled up. We, not in specifically you, still here? Yeah, as in not specifically you. Yeah, because I didn't. Who here agrees with me that them doing it was also fucking retarded? It was retarded, annoying, and disruptive. Yeah. You're fighting with ghosts. Yeah, sure. There's some people that are biased. Definitely. Yeah, for sure. But, like, not everybody. One doesn't excuse the others. Yeah. You're purposely misunderstanding him? No, I'm not.
And the Democrats have got to take a good, long, hard look at themselves, because the stupid signs, the not getting up for the poor families of these murdered people, the way they treated that boy.
The whiteboard was too much. Even the signs were okay. The whiteboard?
The walkouts. The silly Instagram stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
Look at me, I didn't go in. This is the President of the United States speaking. What's going on in the heart of politics?
Yeah.
I think honestly, Lawrence, they've lost the plot. The Democrats have lost the plot. They did not see this big win coming for Trump in the election. They got completely wiped. They've lost all power, and they are scrabbling to work out what they do about this.
This hall monitor
the key
energy.
message is Trump is ramming home.
Worst person to talk about this? Well, doesn't that make him the best person to talk about this? Because if you think Piers Morgan, if he can figure this out, and he's not even from the U.S., then why the fuck can't they?
America's no longer a woke country, and that secondly, he's the sort of pioneer of a revolution of common sense. They don't know what to do about this. I mean, on one hand, you've got them all in their pink gear, right, going on about women's rights. On the other, they won't applaud a president who wants to bring back equality and fairness to women's sport in America.
Piers, a lot of people can relate to this, though, that are Republicans or conservative, because if you support Trump, they hate you too.
Yeah.
And so this little boy, he's there. It's not about Trump at that moment. It's about this little boy, and Trump's just allowing him to be a Secret Service agent. We don't know how that child's family votes. They're from Houston.
They started calling the kid. They started saying that he was a DEI hire. Like I saw like some like leftist people saying that he's a DEI hire. And I'm thinking to myself, so if this kid's getting a ceremonial position that doesn't actually matter just to make him feel good, and you're calling that DEI, it's just interesting. That's all.
That moment, Ainsley, I thought, when Trump invited him to the Oval Office with his family. That's right. And the little boy said, "Can I give you a hug?" Yeah. That is the human side of Donald Trump, which we've all seen a lot of, right? I'm really pleased we're seeing more of that this time around, because that is what he can be about. And I think the Democrats have lost their sense of humanity. I mean, they just don't know what to do. It's extraordinary to watch.
Last week we had Macron and Starmer come visit, and then with Zelensky in the meltdown on Friday. And now there was an emergency meeting last night with European leaders. How do you view Europe being asked and told to come together and support Ukraine or other causes, build up your military, take ownership? How does that look from the inside?
Trump is 100% right about this, and he has been from the moment in his first term he went on about NATO and how the European countries were simply not paying their dues, and they were.
I don't see any defense for why they're not paying the money. If you can't pay the fucking money, then why do we have to pay the money? It's that simple. Yeah, like, I mean, fuck that.
And guess what? Now most of them do, but they should still be now.
Everybody, we always get one of these people. We always get one of them. And okay, now Israel. Again, you're jousting at windmills. You're fighting with ghosts. You're in an argument with a person that doesn't exist.
Paying more. You know, Poland, I think, has gone to 5% GDP on defense now, right? They're leading the way. Europe should be standing on its own 2 feet. If I was an American, I would be sick and tired of constantly having this assumption from Europe that you will always be here to pick up the pieces, to pay the bills, to do all the fighting. Right?
A lot of Americans do feel exactly the way that Piers is expressing. And I think this has been something that's been ongoing for a long time with, like, basic American sentiment. And Americans, I think, have a lingering resentment towards Europeans who always act high and mighty about their, you know, their social systems or, you know, their culture being more educated. Meanwhile, we're providing their defense. Meanwhile, we're paying our NATO dues and they're not doing that. And so as soon as people realized that was going to happen, that resentment was then channeled into not giving a fuck about helping Europe. That's the reason why. Oh, like, I would say, like, a huge amount of people in America feel this way.
Very proud that the UK has fought alongside America in many conflicts. My brother was a British Army colonel, fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. So, you know, nothing means more to me than that special relationship. But at the same time, Europe has got to start punching its way. I like the fact my new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, and Macron, they seem to be leading this way now for Europe to step up properly. But I hope we do a deal in the end that brings, as Trump wants, peace. Where the Americans are there, but you're not having to do all the heavy lifting like you normally do.
But Piers, do we, because some of the messaging from the mainstream media and Democrats is that, I don't think we look weak, but they feel like we look weak as a country. What is the perception in the UK?
I don't think that a lot of people care about looking weak. I think Americans are less concerned with, like, the international, like, we care more about our own infrastructure and our own country than what Germany's opinion of us is. That's not particularly important. It's just not. Don't care anymore. Yeah, it's not higher on the priority list. Now, if we could have both, that'd be nice, and I think in a lot of ways we probably could. But if you had to pick, it's gonna be our stuff. You guys don't even know where Germany is? Proves my point. There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's funny because I spoke to President Trump last Friday morning, just the day after he'd seen the British Prime Minister at the White House, and I texted him, I said, I've never seen better media coverage in the UK than what I've seen this morning. Every front page lauding the return of the special relationship. Then there was the Oval Office bust-up. The next morning front page is the complete opposite, which is very, that's very Trump world, right? I think the reality is, as always, people react hysterically to everything the president does. They can't really work out what's going on. I always try and remind them. I'm known as the Trump whisperer in the UK. Well, what's he really doing? I said, why don't you just remember what he is?
Negotiation.
He's a businessman who's negotiating. I think Donald Trump genuinely wants peace. I think that he wants to bring everyone to the table, but I think he also wants Ukraine to accept that the war is where it is. This war has not moved in 8-9 months. Hundreds of thousands of people have been killed on this battlefield. It has got to stop. But he's got to do it, I think, in a way where America is strong, but also the Europeans understand this is a war happening in Europe. And you can't just go knocking on the door and say, America, sort it all out for us. Yeah. It's got to be a concerted team effort. And I think
this is exactly the way a lot of voters here think, I believe. I believe this is the way they think. Yeah, absolutely.
Personally, knowing how Donald Trump feels about this, I think he will get that. And in the end, we'll look back on this period as being a little bit rocky, as these things always are when you try and sort out a war. But ultimately, I think we'll get to peace and people will thank him.
We'll see if this is the one deal that Putin sticks to, because he's famous for...
Well, you know what's interesting? I found a clip and it went viral, actually, and it was from when I interviewed...
No way. Oh my God. That's the one that we watched and we put that one up there. Oh my God. This is the interview with Bill Clinton, remember that?
Bill Clinton at CNN about 10 years ago. And he was talking about his dealings with Vladimir Putin when he was president and Putin just come into power in Russia. And he said the interesting thing was,
man, that is crazy.
And everything else.
So
but
you're the adventurer. Well,
if he
I have
agreed on something and shook hands with you, he always kept his word. I think Trump has
is he
that
watching?
relationship
Maybe.
with Putin. I think that they
Please.
say what they say in public, but fine, and he has to play the game a bit to get Putin to the table. But I think behind the scenes, there's a lot of talking going on, and clearly Trump believes
no
that when
doubt
it's him
you are
and
right to
Putin,
burst
he
first.
can trust it.
Let me
that
be.
may be enough in this situation.
We are
We'll
the
see.
scions of the seventh dawn. In order among our gravest their existence is a bane upon Eorzea. Our order is home to a number of individuals. This talent takes various forms.
It's so weird for a Brit to be arrogant about
Tell me, have you ever had the sensation of being pulled away? All these things the echo allows you will be for another. In short, it is only... That's right.
Yeah, true.
With that established, so long as they
Taking
exist,
time away from Brian's next interview.
measures must be taken. Make no... I know not what it is you do, but why else would the gods entrust man with the gift? And so I implement.
There's nothing better than taking time out of Brian's time. Nothing sweeter in the world.
Who booked him? Who booked him?
Pierce, always good to see you. Thank you.
He's got a point. Yeah, we're dumb for changing football. It is dumb that I don't know how we did this, where we decided that the game that you play with your hands is now called football. Like, I mean, I think it's ridiculous too. I do. It's very ridiculous. There's the video. I think that Piers is right about a lot of this. And it's interesting to see, like, somebody who's not even like a Native American, like born here, like, obviously he's in fucking the UK, right? I think he gets it. I think he does, and he does. And at least he kicked the ball with the foot at some point. Yeah, but you don't even get as many points for that one. Aren't field goals like 3 points and a touchdown 7? I feel like, yeah, you don't even get half as many points for the ones that you score with your feet. Yeah, Native American. Well, like, what I mean is he's native to America. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying. Is it? Yeah, touchdown is 6. Oh, okay. Yeah, touchdown 7. I don't fucking remember, right? I mean, I'm not a big sports guy. I'm not a memer. I'm not a, oh, sports is stupid, I'm too smart for sports. But I'm not a big sports guy either, to be honest. It's just not really my kind of thing. CNN anchor threatens to cut the mic on Doge advisor. What?
I take it you will help us. Wonderful.
Don't spend that Doge dividend
But come,
quite yet.
tell me, it used to be one of Eor's the Charlians were the keepers of wisdom.
The Department of Government
Among their
efficiency
number,
led by Elon
there were
Musk is
when the
claiming to
realm
have
be
saved taxpayers
those say
$55 billion
the masked
through
woman
various
is
cost-cutting
Ida,
measures.
and beside her
They're
is
breaking
Popeline.
down how they claim they're doing it on the department's website.
Well,
For example, just yesterday,
Okay,
Doge published
my
its
turn.
latest cost-cutting measure. They say that
Here's
it
our
resulted
man.
in
Here-
a value of up to $235
Welcome to the
million in savings. It's also
I never
pointing out
doubted
wasteful
that you
spending with posts like this.
If I
showing how
may,
taxpayers
the
spent
lovely
over $20
maiden
million
beside me is
on a
named
boarded-up building
Yastola.
over the course of
Limsa
20 years.
Lominsa.
There's also a wall
Greetings.
of receipts listing savings on the
Last
website
but
detailing
not least is
canceled contracts and
Urianger,
terminated
who
leases
presides.
as part of the department's, they say, transparency
Dawn
initiative.
may ban it.
And now there's a new potential layer to these Doge
The
savings
words
that's
of a
gaining
dear.
steam across social media.
At the Battle of Carteneau, we sought out Minfilia and
Okay, then give them
Along
to
with
me.
the Archons, those
It's called
blessed
the
with
Doge
the
dividend, and it was explained in a
Oh,
4-page
I
plan
should
that was
also
introduced
introduce
this
you
week on X.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Breaking down how every taxpayer would
Pleased
get a
to make your
$5,000 tax
acquaintance.
refund check
in time.
funded exclusively with a
But
portion of the
without-
total savings delivered
I
by
would assign
Doge
you your
so
first
long-
There's a
task.
better chance Doge is going to give you a uniform.
Urianger have
Aye, my
I guess
lady.
it's probably not going to happen. But, I mean, it's funny to think about.
as
We have
Musk's
received a
goal
Yeah.
of $2
Thancred,
trillion
would you-
in federal savings is
Wow.
met.
It would be
tweet was
my
from an
some
investor
days
and
ago.
CEO,
A
James
crystal
Ffxiv,
but
who's been
there
a
is
guest at
more.
Mar-a-Lago and has
Within a
ties to
bell
both
of the
Trump and former
At a
Doge
glance,
official
one would
Vivek
assume such
Ramaswamy.
crimes are hardly
Well,
uncommon.
The idea grabbed Elon
However,
Musk's attention,
this-
who replied he'd check with the president.
Aye,
It appears that he
the
did,
evidence
because one
left
day later,
behind. If
President
we
Trump
then
expressed
consider the
interest
object
in this proposal.
that you may better
Okay.
understand the nature of our
Under consideration,
You
a
have,
new
if there
concept
is-
where we give 20% of the Doge
Ever at
savings
yours.
to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt because the numbers are incredible.
So with
Wow.
attention comes scrutiny. With Doge, the accuracy of its
Yep.
reported savings being called into question. For instance, an initial claim of saving $8 billion by canceling a single Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE contract was later revised to $8 million after discovering a clerical error. And that's not all. Critics are calling Musk out for the haphazard way that he's approaching cost cutting. There's the firings, then rehirings across
Yep.
agencies, questions about transparency,
Yep.
conflicts of interest,
Yep.
the true dollar amount of these savings being questioned.
I don't see where the conflict of interest thing comes in. I mean, haven't they both addressed that like 7 times? I feel like that's already been defined.
The long-term impact of the overhaul. Well, who better to answer some of these questions than James Ffxiv, the CEO of Azoria, the originator of the Doge dividend. James, thank you for being here. How did this all come to pass?
Well, good morning, Michael. To tell you the truth, it came to me in a dream. I woke up, I called her.
All right. All right, okay. Your nation's a joke? I don't know. It seems like a pretty good dream to me.
Head of research at Azoria. We met at Capitol Grill. We fleshed this thing out in 2 hours, and I'm honored that the president has endorsed it. This is a real plan to send the savings that Doge generates over the next couple of years right back into the pockets of hardworking Americans all across this country. They deserve it. It was their money in the first place, and they need a break.
Okay, I'm all for ridding the government of waste, fraud, and abuse. But at some level, isn't it all illusion? In other words, if there's a quote-unquote savings made by Elon Musk and Doge,
we're still $36 trillion in debt. So there's...
So let me get this straight. The logic is that because we already have a bunch of debt, we might as well just keep spending money? Like, I don't understand this at all. And also, if this was illusory, then why did we give out COVID stimulus checks? We already have a principle for this. There's a precedent for this. It happened like 3 years ago. What do you mean?
There's no pie to cut up. There's no slice of the pizza that I can hand back to you unless we continue to borrow those funds.
Our plan's really simple. Over the next couple of years,
They
DOGE
already
will
forgot?
save
You
a
think
set
they forgot
amount
about
of
the
money.
COVID stimulus?
We're going to take 20% of that and put it right back in the hands of taxpayers. The other 80, as President Trump has pointed out, will go back to paying down the debt and narrowing the deficit. Here's the truth, Michael. For every $5 that DOGE saves, as we believe calculated by the Congressional Budget Office, when this whole project is said and done next summer, for every $5, $1 goes back to the pockets of American taxpayers. Here's why.
Jesus, bro. Like, this guy got a default resting face like a Starfield in PC. This is not. What's it? Damn, bro.
They sent their money to D.C. to be spent in America, not to be abused, not to be disrespected, and not to be defrauded. That $20 million to Iraqi Sesame Street, that money sent for a transgender opera in Colombia, all at the same time, Michael, that we have roads and bridges crumbling. We're losing 900 Americans every day.
I don't even care about the money. I care about where the money went. I bet that opera probably wasn't even that good. I want a detailed balance sheet of that opera. I want to know who was in charge of it, and I think they should get audited. Let's get their tax returns. Let's go ahead and do an audit of their finances. That's what I want to see happen. That's where I'm at. Because I don't even think they're getting their transgender opera. We're spending all this fucking money, they don't even get it. Or if they do, it sucks.
Deaths of despair, alcoholism, and suicide. 8 out of 10 black American fourth graders are not even reading at grade level. This is pathetic. What? 10 black American day to deaths of despair, alcoholism, and suicide. 8 out of 10 black American fourth graders are not even reading at grade level. This is pathetic.
What the
Americans
fuck?
sent their money to be spent in America. They were defrauded. They were lied to. They now deserve restitution. And the second point that President Trump, just one sec, Michael. The second point that President Trump brought up on Air Force One is that these DOGE dividends will incentivize Americans to report waste, fraud, and abuse in their own community. Why? Why? Because the more that DOGE saves, the bigger their DOGE dividend check will be. Remember, in economics, show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome. We're giving every American.
I'm going to get to the economics. Come on, I gave you a chance for a great sound bite. You got and those soft power exercises make for great sound bites. But when you drill down,
having a transgender opera isn't soft power. It's just retarded. What is it? Like, really? It's crazy. What are you talking about?
Sesame Street in Iraq, they all have Joseph Nye from Harvard, credited with the coinage of the word soft power. You know, you'd rather spend on that than bullets. But wait. You want to talk about
there was a terrorist attack in Iraq last month that killed 40 people. It's clearly not working.
Yeah, if so, I mean, is the solution so if the soft power reduces the probability of having bad things happen, then how many solutions do you think that we should have? Because, like, obviously one isn't enough. Because if we're still having terrorist attacks over there, they're not working. So maybe 5, 7. Maybe how many is it going to take to make these bombs stop explosion? There has to be the math on this, right? great question. Yeah, I don't think it's the U.S. taxpayer's responsibility to care about terrorist attacks that are in Iraq. Great point.
Maybe the terrorist would have been better off watching Big Brother than learning from Ross.
So he's saying Sesame Street plays Iraq. What is it like? I don't understand. Like, you see the video, like, how is this possible? How, like, is there any thinking to this at all? This is amazing. There's no answer. I don't even understand this at all. Depends if the government divided their nose. Otherwise you don't need to care. Well, this is my mindset, is that why the fuck are we in Iraq at all? Now, I'm speaking as an American, so I can't understand Iraqi culture. But what I can understand is that if I had another nation that is trying to forcefully push its agenda in my country, that would annoy me. And I wouldn't like that. So when I hear this, I bet there's a lot of guys in Iraq that are like, what the fuck are they doing trying to come over here and tell us how to live? You already bombed us, you destabilized our fucking country, you killed our leader, and you think we had nukes. You didn't have everything's fucked up now, and now you want us to look at Sesame Street and tell us we're right? You're gonna big murder for being mad about the weapons of mass destruction? I don't think that's gonna happen. Really? You think so? It's insane. Big Bird is the solution to terrorism. Well, I don't know about Big Bird, but I know One Piece certainly isn't.
Let me make one. Put on the screen the Peterson Foundation. This is where the rubber meets the road. We are $36 billion in debt. I don't know if you can see that. That's $106,121 for every single person. So if Elon Musk is successful in saving us money from wastewater, I hope that
this is a cosmetic number. We're never going to pay down this debt. It's never going to happen. It's a completely made-up number. It's $36 trillion. Like, all of this radical numbers, it's not made up. Yeah, absolutely it is. Yes, who's that? It's all made up.
But I like the fact that there is no money in the tank. We owe $36 trillion. We owe $106,000 each. So whatever the savings are, it's not like President Trump's doing us a favor by giving us 20%. Everything because the Peterson people
That's
say...
a fair argument. You have to use this argument and say that the Doge dividend is silly and it should be put entirely towards paying down the debt. Like, I wouldn't agree with that because I think that the debt is just a cosmetic number that will never change. Like, this entire... You're never going to pay down $36 trillion. It's just never going to happen. Like, I'm sorry. It will never happen. It's not real. It's never going to go that far. It's just never going to happen. So anyway, that being said, inflation. Yeah, with inflation, everything like that, it's just never going to happen. That being said, I think the money should probably just be reallocated to people through, like, entitlement programs. It's not like they should just send people checks.
By 2050, 50% of all revenue is going to go to satisfying interest on the debt. We should be paying the debt. Your response?
My response is this. We should be paying the debt, which is why the Doge dividend incentivizes every American to call out waste, fraud, and abuse, to lower the budget, to narrow the deficit, and to bring down the debt. Where was this emergency over the debt when we sent $350 billion to Ukraine to be wasted? Where was this emergency, Michael, on CNN when you guys were advocating?
Does you know economics? Do some basic research before saying nonsense. Do you realistically think that we are ever going to pay down $36 trillion? Just be honest with me right now. Do you ever think that's actually going to happen? You or your investment trade, that's not the question I asked. Do you think that we're ever going to pay that down? That number is ever going to get erased? Japan, China on most of our debts? Yes, I think that you will. I don't. I don't think we will. I think the number is too big. We're not getting enough money. There's never going to be a reason to do that. A lot of the EU and Brazil can't really capitalize on that debt. It's not going to happen. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Paying $7,000 to migrants in Chicago. $7,000 a month per migrant. And now we want to spend $5,000 one time from President Trump to hardworking Americans. The migrants didn't deserve $7,000 a month. Hardworking Americans deserve a $5,000 check with President Trump's name on it. So enough with the double standard. Ukraine did not deserve $350 billion.
Okay, listen to me.
Something totally different.
Listen to me. This is Madoff-like. This is a Ponzi scheme.
No, Ukraine was a Ponzi scheme. The migrant funding was a Ponzi scheme. Hard-working Americans deserve a break.
James,
it was their money, Michael. It was their money.
James, give me a chance to speak. Theoretically, it's my program. We don't have the money, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's a Ponzi.
So we didn't have the money for Ukraine, right? We didn't have the money for Ukraine. $350 billion.
I never do this. I don't want to be that guy. And do I have to silence your microphone so I can respond to what you've said? Because there's so much fallacy in what you've just offered.
Please go ahead.
I have a very simple premise here. We're $36 trillion in debt. It's a fraud. As much as I want to see us cut waste, fraud, and abuse, it is an absolute fraud to say to the American people, because of what Musk is doing, we have $5 grand to give each of you. The only way we have $5 grand is if we're borrowing it, because we're that far in debt. I'm trying to meet you halfway, which is simply to say, what a good thing but let's at least be honest with the American people that whatever we say, we already owe. Now I'm going to give you 30 seconds to respond. Then I'm going to say, see you later. Go ahead.
Let me say this. We're fellow Americans. We care about this issue, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to come on this program, but I got to speak truth here. At the end of the day, we've got to send the money back that is saved, just 20% of it. The other 80% goes down to paying the national debt and narrowing the deficit. To your point, yes, there has been a fraud against the American people, the Green New Scam, Ukraine, the migrant crisis. Their taxpayer dollars were sent abroad, were not sent at home, were not spent in America, not on health care, not on education. That ends with President Trump's leadership today. Delivering on his promise of major government. The Doge dividend plan is bold.
All right. I hope thank you.
The Doge dividend. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the probability of it happening is so extremely fucking low. That's like I wrote this here, the money was found. I have all the receipts now by the cash stockpile. Well, it's money that when we stop spending the money, right? That's generally what happens. And here, once you start to care, when it might have children. No, the thing is that, like, we're never going to pay back $30 It's never going to happen. The entire premise of this problem is fake. Like, I'm sorry. And if you guys think that it's going to happen, go ahead, put this right now. Come back within 5 and 20 years. Yeah, let's come back. Let's see if the number goes up or down. Because I bet it's just going to keep going up and up and up and up and up. And it's never going to go down. No, maybe, yeah, we'll see what happens, right? Or World War III happens. Yeah, we'll do that too. And, yeah, that's it. Got Horse on MSNBC. But this is precisely what's going on with I love Jon Stewart. I think he's great. I know, obviously, I disagree with him for whatever reason.
First of all, every action with a very not equal overreaction.
That's right.
These people are sick. They are unrelenting. This is what
despicable acts in American history. This is authoritarian takeover 101.
Majored in submissive liberal trying 101. Even if he used the pardon power, I don't know. Yeah, but that is his constitutional power. Again,
how are they going to cry about use of power whenever fucking Biden pardons his son blanket from campaign? He's pardoning everybody. He's pardoning his whole family. You don't have any right to stand up talking about the
reason we given presidents power. And then we say, oh, by the way, with that power, you're not going to be on us, right?
Trump makes an extremely funny name, Jon Stewart. Oh, you know, Democrats are such a guy. But then we had a week. Serenity now. We finally catch our breath. Begin to move forward. Friday Night Massacre. A chilling purge.
It's crazy how he really called out, because he's right about this, how they keep everybody on always on the up and up. It's always this emotional dilation where things are way more serious than they need to be. Way more serious. It's the purge. Like, what? The purge? Damn. Emotional fear. Yeah, there's no day off. You know who said it the right way? I'm gonna be honest. I was watching a Sam Hyde video, and Sam Hyde said that modern media was like just continuous shepherd's calls that just keep your attention and like your like fucking stress levels at an all-time high. And I think he really cooked with that. He did. Like I remember thinking, like, when I watched it, I was like, damn, he's completely fucking right about that. Wow. Is fear-mongering? Yeah. Watching Sam without us? Well, to be fair, I mean, there's a lot of videos that if I watched Sam with you guys, I wouldn't be watching anything with you guys after that. So, yeah, no, that probably would not happen.
I, for one, will take full advantage.
So, yeah.
Although, just in case I'm misinterpreting, what is this purge about exactly?
Breaking news, the mass firing of government agency watchdogs.
Trump fired at least 17 inspectors general.
No! He got rid of 17 inspectors general.
Oh, no.
That only leaves, no one knows how many that.
Probably a lot.
I have no idea. What Trump did violated the law. He can't just fire these people.
Title V, Section 403 of the U.S. Code, federal law, an inspector general may be removed by the president.
We didn't mean that law. What do you mean?
What? So what's the purge? What's the map? Why do I have an axe?
There is a specific law that requires notice, 30 days, and a statement of reasons. Substantive and detailed rationale.
What? I'm sorry, what? Oh, apparently you can fire them, but you have to give them 30 days notice. Oh, so that's what we're upset about? No! You can do it, but not in that font!
This is the kind of shit, bro, like, this is the reason why people don't take this shit seriously anymore. It's because of this constant fucking emotional escalation, bro. It's so annoying. Now on the head. Yes, he's so right, man. I feel like Jon Stewart, it's like with like political comedy, I feel like he's like Gandalf that came back into Two Towers, and it's like everything was turning to shit. Like, you had Jimmy Kimmel, Conan O'Brien retired, you had fucking Stephen Colbert like turned into a massive bitch. To be fair, I think that who's that British guy that was on the Daily Show, John Oliver? I think he's all right. But like, there's another one, Jimmy Kimmel. There's one more. It's so fucking annoying. What's his name? Jimmy Fallon. And Jon Stewart comes back at the exact right time. I do. I think he's come back at the exact right time. Thank fucking God. Oliver lost it. I haven't seen any stuff from Oliver, but like I've seen a lot of things from him I agree with. I feel like the saddest one to me personally is actually Stephen Colbert. I think Stephen Colbert is probably one of the... this isn't just because he's a big Lord of the Rings fan, but that's a big part of it. I really like Stephen Colbert, and I was so disappointed that, like, he took his show in the direction that he did. He was great. He's not that old, right? So he can come back. Hopefully one day he will. The Colbert Report was legendary. I know, my dad and I... We would go, this is what we do. We go to Bill Miller Barbecue. So good. We go to KFC. We come home, we watch The Daily Show, and then we watch The Colbert Report right after that. Every Thursday.
Hitler's font!
You know, just like Bill Maher, Stewart only seems to see the problems of big government when a member of the opposing party is holding office. I mean, kudos to him for acknowledging it, but the expansion of executive power has been something conservatives have been complaining about for decades. None of this should come as a surprise because it's no secret that Democrats have no impulse control.
It's not the expansion of executive power, like Trump's going into the fucking, like, the old wizard rules. You know, some, like, illegal immigrant act of, like, fucking 1791 or something like that. Like, he's going into the ancient magics in the old text. Like, this shit was probably written in Latin. And he had to hire some guy to fucking decipher it. And it says that he can put people in Guantanamo Bay that he doesn't like.
And can't delay gratification. I mean, this wouldn't be the first time that they've done something for short-term gain that later bit them in the butt when Republicans took power and wielded it against them.
Look, we are facing a deluge of these executive actions, and certainly we must be prepared for those most vulnerable to the consequences of these actions.
Yes.
But
Won't somebody think of the overpaid government employees that are making a six-figure salary for doing nothing, that are working remotely? Won't somebody think of them?
All fascists.
Won't somebody think about the illegal alien pedophile criminals that are living on government aid? What about them?
Argument has become almost a reflex for the left.
Donald Trump promised to be a dictator on day one, and he's carried that forward through the entire week.
5 days into this administration, the abuse is already rampant.
On a fascism scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being peak fascism, how would you rate Trump's first week?
Peak fascism? I'm so sorry, guys, that people my age have begun taking positions in mainstream media. Like, the damage that millennials have done to the culture cannot be understated. This is, like, my generation is the most bitch-made, crying, annoying, unfunny, lazy, boring generation of people that I think we might have ever had. And they're pathetic. These are the people that, you know, somebody rings the doorbell, these people have to go lie in the bathtub like it's a fucking hurricane. I hate these fucking people, man. I had to go to school with them because they were my age. Bunch of fucking losers. Owning Funko Pops and they're fat. So stupid.
Scale of Mussolini to the Holocaust. I would say it's not fascism. Do I not understand what fascism is? Republicans
No, bro. Fascism is whenever the government does something you don't like. That's what happens. Yeah, fascism is when the government does something you don't like. Communism is when the government gives money to someone that you don't like. Nazis are when someone's not seeing your point of view. Let's see, what are the other ones? Fuck. Oh yeah, a threat to democracy is losing a vote. Fuck. What else we got? A dictator is whenever you do what's in your what's in the power of the presidency. Yeah. A socialism being tax dollars to the public. A racist is whenever somebody is a different race. Patriarchy, yeah. Like, we can keep going. Patriarchy is whenever your dad didn't give you enough attention.
Control the House, the Senate, the executive, and the judiciary. And just about every move that has been made till this point, we have granted them electorally. It's our f***ing fault. And the constant jump, yeah, it's just our fault. And the constant drumbeat of encroaching fascism will erode the credibility we will need if, hopefully,
It's really funny that he's saying the same. No, I'm not going to say that I said this. I'm going to say it. See, I've been saying this so long, and see, now he's saying it. See, this, I told you I like this guy a lot. He's right about fucking so much shit, man. But yeah, exactly. Stuart's been saying this forever. I know that. Honestly, I probably started saying this because I watched him as a kid, and he said it back then.
If and not when it hits. But the truth is that for now, his most objectionable actions have taken place almost entirely within our designed democratic system. There was no authoritarian end run, no royal edicts. This happened to us as designed.
I've got to admit that it is a little funny how the party that claimed to love and protect democracy can't seem to handle the system working as intended. I mean, it's just like Stuart pointed out. Despite all their hysterics about Trump being a threat to democracy, it was their beloved system that got him elected.
You want to know what the strongest argument against Democrats was? Is the supercut of Pete Hegseth listening to those 9 women screeching at him all at the same time. That was the strongest, like that to me. That to me was that was it. Show us. Yeah, it was amazing. Show it again. I'll see if I can find it. I don't know if I can find a video, guys. I really apologize. Fuck. I can't find it. Oh my God. Where is it? Sorry.
Allowed him to wield so much power, which puts Democrats in a weird situation where they need to crap or get off the pot. Because at the end of the day, it's either Stuart is right and the system is healthy and working as intended, or it's so flawed and has been from its inception that its own mechanisms led to its inevitable downfall. Which raises the question of why use the system in the first place. And call me crazy, but I think based on everything they've been expressing, Democrats are going to lean towards choosing the latter. But let me know what you think. Which direction will the left move in the next 4 years? Will they drop the act and reluctantly accept that our system of government is fine? Or once and for all admit that they want to scrap the whole thing entirely? Let me know in the comments.
I mean, I think that didn't they? I don't know what this video is. Somebody just linked it to me. Like, I'm not sure about this guy. I don't know who this guy is. I'm gonna link y'all his channel. I just wanted to watch the Jon Stewart clips. But he like you know what they're gonna do. It's what they did with the remember that DNC chair convention where like they're like, okay, so we have to have like the women and non-binary and trans and then men and then like black and then okay, so if we have 7 people, what's half of 7? Is it 3? No, I think it's more than that. It's 4. Well, no, that's more than that. Okay, all right. So, but what if we have like 13? What's half of 13? Like, okay, all right, let's... How do the rules work again? Wait a minute. All right, guys, huddle up. Okay, so if we have 9 people, what's half of 9? Like, it's just... It was so fucking embarrassing to watch that. It was hilarious. Do you know about the PSN blackout? I did. I saw it. But yeah, no, I love Jon Stewart. I think he's great. That doesn't mean I agree with him about everything, but I sure definitely respect him on a lot of things. I do. And man, really funny indeed. Yes, it is. And that woman that just goes up there and starts singing. She just goes and starts singing, man. Like, what are you doing? How do you do this? It's nuts. Here we go.
Tom, where are these leaks coming from?
Well, look, we think it's coming from inside, and we know the first leak of Aurora is under current investigation. We think we identified that person under investigation right now. The California leak, Secretary Noem, you know, she's correct. Some of the information we're receiving tends to lead toward the FBI. But I talked to the Deputy Attorney General all this weekend. They've opened up a criminal investigation, and they
Thank fucking God. Holy shit. Thank God. Finally.
I promised that not only this person lose their job and lose their pension,
treason,
they're going to go
maybe.
to jail. They're going to criminally prosecute.
Fuck
So
'em. That's right. Yep. See, that's real accountability. See, that's what I want to see happen. Like, in my opinion, finding the fraud is step one. The last step is putting the people that allowed the fraud to happen in jail. That's what I want to do.
we're all over it. We got the DHS IG investigating the first one. Have a pretty good idea what happened. Can't share a lot because it's under investigation, but the IG's opened up a criminal investigation on the second one. We're sending a strong message. It's just not, you know, giving the bad guys a heads up so they can escape apprehension. Right? Arresting, you know, giving, you know, the Venezuela gang a heads up so we can't arrest them. You're putting
100% treason, assisting terrorists and killing Americans. I think that they should pursue the most draconian and the most brutal punishment that they possibly can to set an example. Like,
it's only a matter of time. If we walk into a place where there's going to be a bad guy doesn't care, he's going to be sitting and wait for the officers to show up and ambush him. This is not a game. So DHS and DOJ are connected at hip to hold these people responsible in a criminal fashion.
So early indications are this is coming from our own FBI. How certain are you of that?
Information leading to that. Again, I'll let the Department of Justice do their own investigation. But again, I talked to the Deputy Attorney General this week, and they've opened up a criminal investigation. He thinks the information is coming from there also, so we'll let that investigation play out. But some of the leads point that way.
Wow, that's really scary. The idea of, you know, not hiring these 88,000 IRS agents to go after, you know, and bringing them together, how helpful would that be in your mission?
Yeah, we're putting the work.
FBI's corrupt as fuck. I think there's people that are at the FBI that are corrupt. I don't think the whole institution is. I think that the truth is that most of the people that work in any job don't really do anything other than probably just do a middle-of-the-road average job. That's it. So, like, the majority of them aren't doing anything crazy. They're not like superheroes, they're not fraudsters, they're just clocking in, getting paid, doing what they like to do, and that's about it.
The law enforcement officers, we can certainly put in work and help them secure some of these large operations. We don't have the immigration authority, but they can certainly help process. IRS agent, they can help us process and do some analysis and wrap around infrastructure planning. Because this is a big operation, so I hope we get some of them. I think it's this is all a government approach because this is a national security vulnerability, our open border, and having all these over 2 million known gotaways. You and I talked about this a lot, Sean. Helping us find these people who paid more to get away. Over 2 million. We know who they are, where they came from, why they're here, but we need to find those folks. So we'll take every man and woman available to come.
Yeah.
You know, I keep going back to a question, and you have every right to be irritated with me for keep asking it. is, and this is the scary part of tipping off the enemy, because you're right, they'll lie in wait, and the element of surprise will be removed from those brave agents that are
Well, then they just blow you up, right? I mean, because if they know you're coming, they can just put explosives where they know you're going to go, and then they just blow them up. I mean, that's really what's going on. I mean, like, obviously, I mean, if you were one of these cartel or like terrorist gang members, like, isn't that what you would do? Like, of course it is, right? And you would also hide all the evidence, get rid of everything. Yeah, trip the entrances. Yeah, of course.
Fine, but the people in this country that don't belong here, but among them are known murderers and rapists and terrorists and cartel members and gang members. This is not an easy lift to begin with. And you've expressed confidence that you'll find them all, and the question is, how quickly do you think we can find them all?
Well, sanctuary cities, they're putting up every roadblock possible. Rather than arresting the bad guy in the county jail, it takes one agent to arrest a bad guy when they gets arrested and put in the county jail. We got to send a whole team to the neighborhood. So it's going to be, it's very difficult in sanctuary cities, but we're going to keep coming. What are we doing about sanctuary cities? I'm going to double the manpower in those sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities, if we can't get them in their homes, we'll get them in a place of employment. We're going to have large-scale worksite enforcement operation. So we're going to send more resources. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep coming. We're going to keep coming with more. We're going to increase the targeting in those cities.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, I've been waiting on this for a bit.
We're going to give full steam ahead on sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities are becoming the priority. Why? Because of protection. They're protecting public safety threats and national security threats. So we're going to double manpower. We're going to double operations. We're going to double targeting. We're coming full bore, and they're not going to stop us. I'm taking this seriously. I don't sleep well at night because I'm afraid of the people that are walking the streets here every day because sanctuary cities will protect them. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals, bottom line. So we're going to do everything we can.
Thank fucking God. True, true, true. Yep, this guy's great to see every time. Yeah, I like how I like how matter-of-fact he is with everything. So many families have been broken apart. Yeah, I mean, of course, right? I mean, like, well, the thing is that, like, you got to look at it from the perspective of, like, if a family gets broken apart whenever they get deported, there's also families that get broken apart when somebody is, like, a victim of, like, one of these criminals, or they're a victim of the drugs that are being brought into the country. There are a lot of cases where that happens. So, like, I feel like, to me, it's a womp-womp situation. It is. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't, because they shouldn't be here. They knew what the risk was coming here, and they do it anyway. Yeah, it's like if you commit a crime, it's not like you don't get to. It's not like you don't have to go to jail if, like, you have a kid. That's not how it works.
To find them, regardless of what it takes. We got a strong president in the White House that's giving us all the authority we need. We're coming.
I give mercy to people in the country.
I've been saying it for years. They are aiding and abetting in the law breaking, and frankly, all of them that protect these criminals, and those criminals that go on to commit violent crime, murder, rape against Americans, they have blood on their hands. There's no other way to put it. Tom Homan, we will continue to update our audience on this. It's too important what you're doing. We appreciate you.
I don't even think he's ruthless. I just think he's reasonable. Like, honestly, I think a lot of the stuff he says isn't really crazy at all. You're viewing immigrants as killing machines now. There's more killings done by Americans. I'm sure school shootings on their own is more. I think you're completely right, but the correct amount of killings that should be done by illegal immigrants is 0. Because there shouldn't be any illegal immigrants. It's an unforced error. So, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of crime that happens here on the That's an even better argument to say that's why we don't need extra people here causing even more they should be here. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's a complete I understand, like, this might work. Like, I don't know why the dumbest argument, Chatter. I don't think it's a very good argument either. I see the argument made a lot, but I don't really see how people... I mean, I guess actually, you know what? I mean, most people are agreeing with this, so... The fact is that, yes, actually, in fact, most people do agree with that. The mic drop rate logic, yeah, exactly. How many illegal immigrants is enough? You should not kick people out who were here for 15 years. Really? Because I think you should. I think we get them out. Why 15? Because the thing is that if you have like a, you know, basically like a cooldown period of this, what you do is you incentivize people to hide more, and then you incentivize them to stay there and do it. Because you just so no, there isn't like a, oh, if you've been here for this much time, you somehow get citizenship. And still not legal and paying taxes. Break the law for 15 years, that's worse, yeah. As long as they work and pay taxes, what's the issue? In a lot of cases, they don't. And in some cases, they bring their family here. Some of their families are here. And also, like, you have money that's being spent on it. And there are, I mean, I'm sure that, like, you can make the argument that some people that are here are effectively not doing it. They're taking jobs. Yeah, they are taking jobs too. And, like, if you're having an illegal immigrant do the job, well, then you're doing two things, right? You're either keeping, you're basically keeping what the closest thing to slave labor is on life support because you're unwilling to innovate your business to be more future-proof. And you're also taking those jobs away from citizens that are here. And also, yeah, good point. Where do they live? Well, they live in houses. Well, okay, well, we have people that don't have houses that are in the country now. Well, what the fuck? Like, I mean, it's just, this is not even a question. About DACA, people have valid work permits. I think that nobody has a problem with people that have work permits to come into the country and work temporarily. I think everybody is okay with that. I mean, maybe some people aren't. I mean, I'm sure some people are not okay with it. But, I mean, overall, I think everybody, yeah, that's a permit. Obviously, that's fine. I wouldn't say no one. No, you're right. There's definitely not a no one situation. But I think that it's very, what do you call it? It's very uncommon that people are okay with that. And so, yeah.
Welcome to the first ever White House Digital Assets Summit.
No.
I know that many of you have been fighting for years for this.
Oh my
and it's
God.
an honor to be with you at the White House. I want to thank the White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs, Treasury Secretary. This is David right here, in case you don't know. You know David. And a man who's doing a great job as Secretary of Treasury. Scott Hesson, who's right here. Scott, thank you very much. Commerce Secretary Howard. Hi, Howard. He's doing some interesting work right now with all that's going on. He's right in the middle of it and doing a great job. Thank you. SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler. And thank you. SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce. Thank you, Hester. Acting CFTC
Oh, he's doing roll
Chairman
call.
Caroline
That's a good idea.
Pham.
FIFA's gonna rug it? You think they're
House
going to?
Majority Whip Tom Emmer.
Another shit
hello,
coin? How
Tom.
awesome.
Representative
Yeah, I think it's
Brian
great.
Style. Thank you. Brian, thank
It's
you
more
very
wealth
much.
redistribution.
Digital Assets Council Director Bo Hines. Good, Bo. Great job. And many other distinguished guests. We have a lot of very distinguished people around the table. Some of them will be speaking. I want to thank Marco Rubio also, who's right over there. And we have tremendous people very interested in this subject. And last year, I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world and the crypto capital of the planet. And we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise, as you know, around the table. Yesterday, I signed an executive order officially creating our strategic Bitcoin reserve. And this will be a virtual Fort Knox for digital gold to be housed within the United States Treasury. That's a big thing.
Oh. That's a lot. Digital gold, yeah.
The federal government is already among the largest holders of Bitcoin, as you know. Really one of the largest holders in the world, with as many as 200,000 Bitcoin obtained via civil law and various other forms of law.
So we just take everybody's...
including enforcement actions. These existing holdings will form the foundation of the new reserve.
Nice.
Unfortunately, in recent years, the U.S. government has foolishly sold tens of thousands of additional Bitcoin that were worth billions and billions of dollars had they not sold them, but they did sell them, mostly during the Biden administration.
Of course.
Not a good thing to have done.
Of course he would do
From
that.
this day on, America will follow the rule that every Bitcoin knows very well. Never sell your Bitcoin. That's a little phrase that they have. I don't know if that's right or not. Who the hell knows, right? Who knows? Who knows? But so far, it's been right. And well, let's keep it that way. The Treasury and Commerce Departments will also explore new pathways to accumulate additional Bitcoin holdings for the reserve, provided it's done at no cost to the taxpayers. We don't want any cost to the taxpayers. In addition, my order directs federal agencies to conduct an inventory of all crypto assets by the U.S. government and determine how they can be transferred easily to the Treasury. Non-Bitcoin digital assets will be held in a new U.S. digital asset stockpile where they will be managed properly. My administration also is working to end the federal bureaucracy's war on crypto, which was really going on pretty wildly during Biden until the election came about. About 5 months before the election, he became a big fan because he heard how many people were in favor of it.
How many of you guys have crypto?
Love it and respect it. But I guess it didn't work out too well for him. People understood what was going on and paved the way for groundbreaking innovations in institutional finance. Under the Bitcoin administration, regulators strong-armed banks. I mean, they really did. They strong-armed banks into closing the accounts of crypto businesses and entrepreneurs, effectively blocking some money transfers to and from exchanges, and they weaponized government against the entire industry. But I know that feeling also. Maybe better than you do.
Remember, because they tried to put
over, and we are ending Operation Choke Point 2.0.
There it is.
Now, some people really suffered. It was ridiculous what they were doing, but in the end, they came around, but they came around for the wrong reasons. They came around only because they wanted votes, and they saw that tens of millions of people were against them because of what they were doing. I also want to express my strong support for the efforts of lawmakers in Congress as they work on bills to provide regulatory certainty for dollar-backed stablecoins and the digital assets market. They're working very hard on that. This is a tremendous opportunity for economic growth and innovation in our financial sector, and will really go a long way. I think it's going to be a tremendous, we feel like pioneers in a way. Tremendous method of growth, and
let them out.
Things are very much tied, and we want to keep it that way. The U.S. dollar, long into the future, we're going to keep it that way. I hope lawmakers will send that legislation to my desk before August recess if they can. And they're very much working with you, and you know a lot of them, and a lot of them were committed right from the very beginning. So I just want to congratulate you all for being at the White House today, and a man who knows more about Bitcoin and AI and just about everything else than anybody, David Saxon. I'd like to have you say a few words, David.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're all here today because of your leadership, your vision, and your generosity, and I really want to thank you for that. We're also here because of your desire to make America great and to introduce a golden age in America, including for digital assets. And we're here because of your love of innovators, or as you might say, high IQ people. Yeah, we know you love high IQ people. And we have about 30 of them here in the room today. These are the top people in the digital asset industry. And one other thing that I think that you love is legal fairness. This is an industry that was subjected to prosecution and persecution for the last 4 years, horrible lawfare, and nobody knows what that feels like better than you do. So we really appreciate the fact that you understand legal fairness and that you're always willing to fight for the right thing, for legal fairness. You never back down. You stand defiant, even in the face of an assassin's bullet. It's an inspiration to everyone in this room, I think.
Yeah.
So it's an honor.
That was crazy.
Thank you.
So I just want to say it's an honor to work for you. It's an honor to work for a president who works every day to get so much done on behalf of the American people. Your administration is moving at tech speed. It's really amazing. It's actually faster than any startup that I've been part of. Is that your administration moves even faster. So I just want to say thank you for having me be a part of it. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I love working for you, and thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you, David, very much. Appreciate it.
And now I just want to pass the ball to Secretary Besson.
Scott.
David, so today, when President Trump has signed the executive order to establish the strategic Bitcoin reserve and stockpile, we're going to position the United States as a leader among nations in the digital asset strategy. It's important for the United States to recognize this fact and get ahead of the other nations. We applaud the President's direction to use the digital assets already in possession of the nation, and we are going to establish this Bitcoin reserve. We use this authority to augment the assets side of the United States balance sheet. As I've said many times, President Trump is creating assets for the American people while most past presidents have created debt. And a large part of this asset program can be in digital assets.
Pump and dump? Yep.
We are going to end the regulatory weaponization against digital assets. The Biden administration's actions did nothing other than punish innovators. And that all of you have made it here today is really a testament to your fortitude. Much of Treasury's responsibility in this order relates to the tax code and determinations around risk weightings. And I'm here to assure you that we are going to work with the Comptroller of the Currency, the IRS, and we're going to rescind and amend all applicable previous guidance. And we are going to put a lot of thought into the stablecoin regime. And as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stable coins to do that. Thank you.
Damn.
Technology is at the foundation of the Trump presidency. He understands technology. He embraces technology.
That guy's
and he's
hair,
going to use
man.
technology to drive
He doesn't give a
America
fuck.
forward. The blockchain and Bitcoin technology are a key part of that thinking and embracing that. And here today shows how much a leader the Trump administration and our president is. He understands it. He embraces it. As you said, you're a pioneer in this place, and this is where we're going. We're using the blockchain, we're using Bitcoin, we're going to use digital assets to pound forward, and Donald Trump is leading the way. Can't be more proud of you today.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Howard.
Damn. So this is like everybody goes around and says one good thing about Trump?
Kelly, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is truly
great.
a historic day.
Wow.
And as a crypto founder, I couldn't be more proud to be part of your administration.
How about that?
You're moving at the speed of tech for sure. And I will just say it's a great day to have the war on not just crypto, but the war on innovation done. And under your administration, we are truly going to enter into the golden age. And I'll just say, as the administrator of the SBA, small business is a tremendous network that crypto can be deployed against, and so the SBA is open to crypto. So I look forward to working with all of the leaders in this room to advance your efforts here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. Well, Mr. President, I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for the amazing team that you put together. I want to thank you for David. I mean, this kind of a meeting, no one in this room could have envisioned this just a couple years ago. You are the one that has the vision. You're the one that said we are going to do 21st century
Everybody
finance
has to,
right here in the United States of America. I've been doing this for 9 years. It is amazing how far we've come, and that's a credit to you, Mr. President, and your leadership, and God bless you for doing this, because it's going to make a huge difference with everything else you're doing.
This
And by the
woman
way,
is so uncomfortable.
Americans love it. They're going crazy. Thank you.
He's getting his hands in front of her and shit like that. Oh, God. He's going crazy. Chill out, man.
Say what I say, a couple of words. Cameron, actually, Cameron, I think you said something earlier that I thought was really profound. You said that a year ago you thought it would be more likely that you'd end up in jail at the White House. Not to put you on the spot, because you didn't do anything wrong, but that was the environment a year ago. But do you guys want to say something?
Sure. That was actually Tyler who said that. But sorry, I still get.
The fucked up with the trophy? That's from the last stream.
Get attacked the way we did in our backyard after trying to do the right thing for so many years and always trying to raise the bar with respect to regulations. So it's truly wonderful to see how things have changed and how the pendulum has swung back in the way that it has. And we've always felt that the U.S. should lead in Bitcoin and crypto, and it's ours to sort of lead and win. And it's just wonderful what President Trump has been doing with this, and we look forward to working together. And thanks for inviting us, David, and setting this up.
Thank you. Thank you both. Please.
Oh. I was just going to say thank you, Mr. President. Cameron takes credit for a lot of my things I say, so it's not the first time. But the U.S. won the internet, and the U.S. should win crypto. So thank you for your leadership on this.
That's
Thank you
right.
both very much.
We
High
own the
IQ
internet.
Individuals around this table. That's what I always say. We need high IQ. So thank you very much. Would anybody like to say anything? Please.
I just want to express my deep gratitude
Who's this guy?
for the seriousness with which you're approaching our industry and how you're actually helping guide it in the right direction. I work with many central banks in other countries, and when I was working there, I was wondering why I, as an American citizen, can't help the United States financial system reach this higher level that the world is on course towards generally. And so I'm very grateful that finally there's been a new level of kind of common sense and adoption of these ideas. Me and the other people in this room do believe that the crypto, blockchain, Web3 infrastructure is the next iteration of the financial system. And I think that the U.S. should have its leadership position continue in that new financial system. And I'm very, very happy to see people like David Sachs, Secretary Bessent, Secretary Lutnick taking this very seriously with their time, and very grateful to them too. So I'm just overjoyed to see this, and I think it is a big part of how the U.S. can continue its role in the global financial system. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I thought it was very important that we stay in the front of this one. This is a big one. And as you know, China is pushing forward and very strongly as usual. But we're way in the lead, as we are in AI and other things, and we want to stay there.
Yeah, China's doing a lot, but we're better than China.
We have some
so
brilliant people sitting around this table.
Absolutely.
And involved, but we want to stay at the forefront of everything. And this is a very important day in your lives. I know you worked, some of you, very long before people really understood what was happening.
With USA?
And so I congratulate you, but this is a big day. Being in the White House is a big deal. And you have great support. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, media. Thank you. Please.
You said please? I mean, as in please get the fuck out?
All right, as you see there, we were just listening into those remarks live there.
Please get the fuck out. All right, that's what I thought.
Trump delivered remarks there at the White House Digital Asset Summit focusing on cryptocurrency. We know that a number of key leaders were there from the cryptocurrency.
Yeah, they had a bunch of people on there. As we talked, yeah, they didn't really explain much of anything. I was like, I thought there was about a 20% chance that they would announce a new coin. They call it like U.S. coin or America coin, Trump coin 2, something like that. Like, I really thought they were going to announce a new one, but of course not. Yeah, I guess not, right? But yeah, all the seized assets. Yeah, I didn't realize they had seized that much Bitcoin. Holy fuck, that's a lot. I didn't even know that at all. But yeah, there you go. Donald,
These solutions except to let this war continue forever. But I'll add
The president has had multiple conversations and a visit from President Macron of France, Prime Minister Starmer of the United Kingdom. We have the NATO Secretary General coming next week. We have this meeting with the Ukrainians. We've had it with the Russians. All of this in the president's first month in his leadership. We will engage in the shuttle diplomacy, and we will continue to use his leadership and what leverage we have to get both sides of the peace table. It's not going to be easy, but President Trump...
This war should have never happened. It would have never happened if I were president, but it did happen. So a lot of other things shouldn't have happened, too. We shouldn't have 21 million people pouring into our country. Many criminals, very bad criminals, including murderers, incredible job. All these things should have Look at
It's crazy how much
Good question. Because I have to know that they want to sell. They want to sell. If they don't want to sell, because we want them to sell. We're doing it to stop death. More importantly, secondarily, way down. So we're in the They should be in for this. Over the last Yeah, I saw the hostage. At you and say, "No worries, you're gonna be okay." Give you a piece of bread.
terrorists are assholes?
Just the opposite. Punch.
Yeah, watch this out.
Surprise. Did you think there'd be you're gonna be okay? They had none of that.
So is he doing this cryptocurrency event? Did this happen or not?
Although not to Zelensky, he wasn't. But to Trump, he's been good.
Not yet. Okay.
By the way, we coordinated. Two questions. One on peace. Why don't you think any other European countries are offering a peace deal? It seems like no one's coming
Not
to
yet.
the table
Yeah,
for
we'll
peace
see.
except for you.
It's a very good question. Sometimes questions aren't
He's meeting
answerable.
privately with crypto leaders?
They're in
I
a
see.
very unusual position. They don't know how to end the war. I think I do know how to end the war.
100K Bitcoin?
Despite the Russia.
Let me see what the
hoax,
graph
I've always
for
had
it
a good
shows.
relationship with Putin. And, you know, he
Seems
wants
like
to end the
it's
war.
88,000.
He wants to end it. And I think he's going to be more generous than he has to be. And that's pretty good. That means a lot of good things.
Crypto summons 38
Because frankly,
minutes.
you could have made a great deal if this war never started. You could have made a great deal. I don't know that anything would have had to be.
No, we'll
given up.
watch that for
This was not
sure.
a war that was going to start, Brian. And it didn't start for 4 years. Somebody said, "Well, how do we know that?" Well, for 4 years it didn't start. I used to speak to Vladimir about it. I used to speak to him about it.
First
at length.
name
It was the
basis.
apple of his eye, but there was no way he was going in, and he knew.
You don't hear that a lot.
There were going to be consequences, but it did start. I mean, think of what happened. Inflation. You have the war with Ukraine.
That's bad.
Russia,
Real
that wouldn't
bad.
have happened. October
Super
7th
bad.
would have never happened. Israel. They had no money. Iran had no money. Iran was stone cold broke, and now they have a lot of money.
How'd that happen?
And that's going to be the next thing you'll be talking about is Iran. What's going to happen with Iran? And there'll be some interesting days ahead. That's all I can tell you. You know, we're down to final strokes with Iran. That's going to be an interesting time.
What does that mean?
And we'll see what happens. But we're down to the final moments. We're at final moments. You can't let them have a nuclear weapon. I think that I would have had a deal within 1 month after the rigged election.
Final moments.
2020. They were all set to make a deal. And then when I lost, I saw this person who's a stupid person, very stupid person.
Oh.
And they said, let's not make a deal. And they were right. He took the sanctions
Who was it?
off. They became
Who's he
rich
talking about?
under Biden. They went from having no money to having $300
That's what I thought.
billion.
Yeah.
All in a short period. It's oil. Oil builds up fast. It's a nice living if you have a nice oil well. And they do. They have a lot of nice oil wells, right? So anyway, it's going to be a big thing. It's an interesting time in the history of the world. But we have a situation with Iran.
It's a situation.
Something's going to happen very soon.
That's one way to call it.
You'll be talking about that pretty soon, I guess. And hopefully we can have a peace deal. You know, I'm not speaking out of strength or weakness. I'm just saying I'd rather see a peace deal than the other. But the other will solve the problem.
Your allies are calling on you to pardon Derek Chauvin. Are you considering pardoning?
Oh, good question.
No, I haven't even heard about it. No.
Mr. President, on peace.
I haven't heard that.
I broke the news that you were nominated.
Didn't even give a fuck.
And the reason for that was the work that you led on the Abraham Accords. I spoke yesterday with a member of parliament, the Norwegian parliament.
I don't even know. Yeah.
And he said what the Nobel Committee is looking for from you, Mr. President, is security guarantees for Ukraine. Is that a possibility, Mr. President?
How many times have they asked him this?
So, before I even think about that, I want to settle the war.
They've asked him this like 50 times.
Because if I'm not here, nobody's going to settle it. And President Macron has said that, and everybody said that. The prime ministers and presidents. We're pushing very hard. That's all I'm thinking about now. As far as the question about security later, that's the easy part. The hard part is getting it settled. We got to get
MJ,
them.
thanks for 5 subs.
We're losing
Oh, you got on band.
2,000 human beings every week. More than that, actually. 2,000 nice, young, although they're getting older because they're drafting much older now. In the case of one country, much older. Because a lot of the young people have been killed. It's very sad, and I'd like to see if I could stop that. And I'd like to also see if we could stop making these massive payments from the United States. I mean, Biden gave away money like it was water, with no anything, got nothing for it. Europe,
like it was water,
did it in the form of a loan. They get their money back. We don't. So that's how we came up with the rare earth deal.
Oh, this is one of the things they said wasn't true.
Behind the 8 ball.
I remember this.
He could have gone to Europe. He could have said, come on, you got to put up money with us. You got to put up money with us. But he never did that. They just kept handing money out because he was grossly incompetent. All right, thank you very much, everybody.
Of course. So Biden is retarded. He made everything bad, and Trump is trying to make it good, but it's hard to make it good because of how bad Biden made it. So hopefully we'll be able to fix the problem that he made. That's all right. So we got another one of these, and apparently they've got this crypto event happening today too, as well.
It's going to be the biggest event, I think, and
the biggest event.
I think you're going to say a few words. Everybody knows this man on the right. He's sort of the king of soccer, I guess, in a certain way. And he was the one that was able to give it to us, and we're going to do a fantastic job in making you at home. So I very much appreciate it. First time it's ever been in this part of the world, and it's an honor. Thank you very much, Johnny.
Thank you. Thank you, President. Thank you, President. Well,
Baldy.
It is a great achievement to bring the World Cup next year, the FIFA World Cup in 26 here in the United States, together with
the
Mexico
World
and
Cup.
Canada.
Damn.
And this summer, actually, we have a new competition, the FIFA Club World Cup in 25, from the 14th of June to the 13th of July, only in the United States of America. 11 cities, 12 stadiums, the best players in the world, the best teams in the world. America will welcome the world. There will be millions of people coming, Mr. President, millions of people. The economic impact is $40 billion between now and next year. We will create 200,000 jobs for these 2 World Cups, and more than that, we will give joy and happiness to the entire world.
200,000 jobs, that's a lot of people.
Definitely. So thank you, Mr. President, for setting up this task force, because it is important that everyone that comes to America feels safe, feels welcome, and that's why it's important that the government puts together this White House task force chaired by the president himself. It shows the importance of the FIFA World Cups, I should say, because there are many topics to deal with, of course, and we want everyone who comes to America and who goes to watch one of these games. We have 10 million tickets for sale. It's like 3 Super Bowls every day for 1 month.
That's a lot of Super Bowls.
Goes, feels safe, feels happy, and feels that we are doing something special. Create and to make the best show on the planet ever.
Oh, it's good. I love what he said, like 3 Super Bowls a day for a month.
3 Super Bowls.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's really amazing when you think of it. I've never heard that expressed. That's a lot. When you know, when we made this, it was made during my term, my first term, and it was so sad because I said, "Can you imagine? I'm not going to be president." And that's
luckily
too bad.
they cheated.
And what happened is they rigged the election, and I became president. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing. That was quite an achievement for both of us. So I'll be president
What are
during
the odds?
World Cup and during the Olympics, which we were very instrumental in getting. And then, of course, we have our 250th birthday too, and of that I wasn't instrumental. That just happened to fall on the same time. So we have the those 3 big events. You don't get very much bigger than that: the Olympics, the World Cup, and number 250. And it's a great honor.
That's
But
right.
I appreciate your selecting us. And we were selected a long time ago, though, during the term, during my first term, and it's an honor to be with you, Johnny. You've been my friend for a long time.
Absolutely.
He's a great
Thank you so
gentleman.
much.
Okay, I'll sign this, and that makes it official, right?
That makes it official.
There it
yes.
is.
Here we are. Then we have to start working.
Can you talk a little bit about the halftime show that you anticipate for the championship?
Kendrick Lamar, not like us.
Well, you know, the Super Bowl has around 100 million viewers. Wow. The World Cup has 2 billion viewers. So we have to make it 20 times better and 20 times bigger than the Super Bowl.
I think it'll be better. I think it will be better.
Wait, really? That's insane.
Yeah, it's huge. It's around 40 billion in only the United States, $40 billion the economic impact, 200,000 jobs created. It's so per city you can divide by 11, and you know a little bit what each city gets, more or less. Some cities get more, others get less. But we'll have 10 million tourists coming, some with tickets, others without tickets, who just want to be here during these World Cups.
What team is favored now? If there's such a thing. I mean, do they have a team like so many of these great famous teams? What team seems to be favored?
Well, on the club one, which takes place this year, of course, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, the Germans, Paris Saint-Germain, the French. The big ones are always there, and these clubs are multinationals. They have players from all countries.
They always seem to be there, right?
They are always there.
Those great
They are
teams.
always there. Yeah. And then next year, Argentina, Brazil, England, Germany, Spain.
It's going to be great.
So it will be great.
Any questions for Johnny?
US is coming up. US is coming. Watch the US. Some very, very good players playing in Europe, but we need to bring them back here to play here.
So can the US win?
The US can win, yes, with the public behind.
See?
They play some of the top
say.
teams.
He knows.
Yeah. They play some of the top teams.
There's a shot, right?
Yeah, there is a shot. Absolutely.
If the U.S. wins the World Cup when it's in the U.S., that would be crazy. Surely that's what will happen.
Brian, did you have another question?
I was just going to say, this continues your pursuit to bring America back in every aspect, the economy, world peace, sports now, which is awesome.
Damn.
I would appreciate a little bit of the Olympics, and I've talked about that before.
Well, I'm just very happy to have done it. I mean, you know, I didn't think this was going to happen. They said, I'll be sitting there, but not as president, so I was, you know, very honored. Actually, Johnny reminded me, called me up very early on. He said, you're going to be president during this whole thing after we won. So it's a great honor for our country to have it, actually. It's a big deal. It's, I don't know which is bigger, the Olympics or the World Cup.
World
What's the
Cup.
story on that?
World
Can I
Cup,
ask you that
100%.
question?
The World Cup is much bigger than the
It is, yeah, bro. That's the big one.
and it's in the whole country. Huh? The Olympics
We've
is
got
one
them
city.
both.
Yeah. So we got everything now. You have to. Yeah.
I would like to. I'd
Hell
like to
yeah.
go to certainly more than one.
Yes.
We'll be making the rounds. It's a period of a month. And it's really top of the line. It's one of the great events, one of the great events.
Maybe not,
anywhere
maybe
in
the
world.
greatest event.
Mr. President, let's talk about it yesterday. About the cabinet meeting with Elon Musk and clash with positions, Secretary Rubio and Secretary.
No clash. I was there. You're just a troublemaker. And you're not supposed to be asking that question because we're talking about the World Cup. Elon gets along great with Marco, and they're both doing a fantastic job. There is no clash.
He just said it.
Who are you with?
Yeah.
Who are you with? Oh, no wonder. That's enough. NBC.
Who has more authority, Elon Musk or the cabinet secretary?
Any other questions about the World Cup?
Can we unveil the trophy, maybe?
I'd love to do
Because
that.
this is something
Let's do it.
special. So today is
Oh,
100 days to
shit.
go for the new competition that we create. The FIFA Please have some space. We can show trophy. And it's not finished. Unlike any other trophy. This is a good. Into Miami.
It's like, whoa. Gyro's favorite.
So if anybody
To the stadium. Let's do that. We'll leave it here.
So now we have the World Cup trophy and the Gulf of Mexico in there?
And they're both great guys. And by the way, they both get along fantastically well. Marco has done unbelievably as Secretary of State.
Big
And,
Marco.
Elon is a very unique guy who's done a fantastic job.
Wow.
Yeah. Enough. Enough. It's FIFA. Is this a FIFA question?
How do you see the World Cup playing out with the you have with Canada and Mexico?
Oh, I think it's going to make it more exciting. Tension's a good thing.
He's right.
Yeah, I think so.
Like that Yeah.
Oh, please, come up. Please, John.
President, what type of enhanced security do you anticipate having for all of these big events
I'll let you.
that are happening over the course of the next
I'll let Christy answer that question.
Oh, answer what question?
Go ahead. Security.
The security for this event will be run by the Department of Homeland Security. So
Ooh.
we are signing today this.
No terrorists.
document that will say that we will form task forces and partnerships. We'll have incident command centers in these 11 cities that will partner all the agencies.
Made a gold ball.
Federal. We'll have some worldwide partners as long as, yes, it'll be under our umbrella, and we'll help facilitate that, but also working with our local law enforcement is incredibly powerful. So streamlining those communications, it'll be a wonderful event, and everybody will be safe and fun.
We better be, right?
Yeah.
And this is the official ball with your name.
Thank you. Ooh, that's nice. I would give it to Chrissy, except it has my name on it.
We have another one for you.
Thank you very much. Is that going to be the ball?
That's the official match ball.
This will be what
and it's in gold.
when they play.
When they play.
Wow. That's
Yep.
great.
Yes, nobody played it. It's played it.
Wow.
Thank you very much, everybody. Johnny, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Shut the hell up. The fuck out.
What can Columbia University do to restore the federal funds, sir?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah. Bunch of hyenas. Jesus Christ, sorry about that. Okay, so when the fuck does this crypto summit thing happen? When does that happen? I guess that's gotta be soon, right? Yeah, I guess they're gonna do it soon. It's gonna be soon. Okay, so this is the next event, right? Damn, this guy's streaming more than most streamers. That's what I was saying, man. Another pump and dump. Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, they really going in on it, huh? The scam event? Well, no, he got a bunch of them, so he just went and he took the trophy. That's fucking funny. Okay, all right. Speed running the content. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's an honor.
Are
to be
you
here.
fucking
It's an honor to be
kidding
here
me?
With you, Mr. President, and
What?
on the road here with all of you. Thank you so much.
Oh my god. Every
Thanks,
single day.
And I want to thank all of you very much for
here we go.
Being here. Welcome to the White House, and we proudly celebrate Black History Month. How are you, darling? Today we pay tribute to the generations of black legends, champions, warriors, and patriots who helped drive our country forward to greatness. And you really are great people. What a great, nice group of... I have some people in front of me every once in a while with all the problems that are caused all over the world. They're not nice. They're not nice. And but we're making them nice. I can tell you that, and we're making them nice rapidly.
Is this not D? I don't know.
So we're pleased to be joined in this really beautiful afternoon at the White House by hundreds of incredible members of the African American community. Many of whom are making history themselves, including one of the greatest athletes of all time, who you just said hello, the man who matched Sam Snead's #1 record for the most PGA Tour wins ever, and a man who has 15 majors, and
do you
he's
think
got a
they'll
long
twist
way to
Trump
go, too.
hosting
I
Black
was with
History
him,
Month against them?
A week ago we played. I think, Adam, I think he's got some left, doesn't he, huh? He's got a couple of majors left, maybe more than that. But Tiger Woods, he's an incredible guy, an incredible athlete, incredible player. Thank you for being with us, Tiger. Thank you very much.
He's pretty high energy with this one.
He got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which he proudly wore today. And
yeah, this is a high energy
we have
one.
Senator Tim Scott here. What do you think, Tim? You never got the Presidential Medal. Maybe someday.
Oh.
Maybe someday. You better believe it. And also, Adam, thank you very much. Adam is, as Tiger will tell you, one of the greatest players and one of the great modern players. And he had 32 wins worldwide and winning the Masters also. And
just the White House,
he's
you
something
too.
very special and a great representative of golfers and athletes. Thank you very much, Adam. Even though he doesn't quite come from our country, he sort of does, right? He's here a lot. He comes from another nice place like Australia.
Seems like this is all
right?
the same.
And they've been very good.
Yeah, I feel like it's all the same.
Jay, thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. We also have the head of Pfizer here, so I want to thank him. One of the great
Trump
people,
seems more happy
one
than
of the
usual.
great businessmen. Thank you, Albert. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh shit, bro!
I want to congratulate our newly sworn in Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner. Come in.
They all booed him.
Come on up here.
They don't like Alfred at all. Well, Pfizer has the COVID vaccine.
You have no idea. I had no choice. Is that right, Tim?
That's the mark of the beast.
No, Scott, I've known him a long time, and Scott's a real champion. Say a couple of words, Scott.
Uh-oh.
Well, hello, everyone. Is everybody happy to be here together?
Did you get the vaccine? I never did. No, I didn't.
Well, first of all, you know, I want to thank President Trump for his confidence and appointing me to this position. I consider it a great honor and a great blessing.
A pure blood?
I thank God for this, and I'm real humbled by it. And you can guarantee that every day that I'm going to lay it down for the people of America. As Senator Tim Scott, thank you for your
I lost my son to the calamity.
I appreciate you, and for all of those who have gone before us, and those of you who have such a great voice today, keep on speaking, keep on preaching, for not just Black America, but for all America. We appreciate you, and my sister Brooke Rollins, and all of those here. Mr. President, we look forward to working with you, sir, and carrying out this great agenda. We pray for you every day. God bless you, and thank you. God bless America. Thank you for President Trump. Thank you.
Man. W speech, yep, short and sweet.
And I see we have a newly, I think you just started, right? They just confirmed you, and you did it very nicely. Brooke Rollins, she's the Secretary of Agriculture.
Is this, okay, yeah, we'll watch
That's
it for this
great,
one.
Brooke. That was a good vote you had, too. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I think this one will be better.
That's great, Brooke. That was a good vote you had, too, huh? She went through very
Yeah, it is a little bit better.
Easier than some of our...
You guys like this one more?
They were all approved, every one of them, and today we just had Kash Patel approved, which is great.
Yeah, okay.
So, Brooke,
I'll turn it up a little bit.
Secretary of Agriculture, that's big stuff, right? Okay. So you're going to do fantastically. And congratulations also to a really good friend of mine. He endorsed me early, and he was one of the best surrogates you could have. The surrogate when you walk around and go on television shows, and they go try and beat you up, but he beat them up. They didn't have a chance against Tim Scott, Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina.
There are a lot of baldies in the audience, that's true.
And he's now the longest serving Black United States Senator in the history of our country. I don't know. That's pretty good.
Doing demos out? No, it's just it's a
Galleons at another mark.
Congratulations on that, too. Beautiful, beautiful way. Thanks as well to Congressman John James. Where's John James? Is here. Hi, John. How are you? It's a star, young star. I knew that 5 years ago, right, John? I sort of predicted it. And I'm really proud to say that we now have more Black Republicans serving in the U.S. House than at any time since 1870. That's a long time, 1870. So
that was in World War II.
Scott, you're going to be fantastic. I'll tell you, you're going to do a great job. As you know, the Americans are going to be celebrating something very important coming up, our 250th anniversary, our nation's founding. And when we do, we're going to look forward to honoring the contributions of countless Black Americans who fought to win and protect and expand American freedom.
It would be crazy if he did,
from the very, very beginning.
That would be crazy.
My good friends are here today, and I'm not going to call out your names because Tiger will get very bored. He'll say, this is a little boring. This is a little boring if we do that. But I want to thank you all for being here. You are our friends, and we appreciate this. And you, McGee, you are my friend. The last administration tried to reduce all of American history to a single year, 1619. But under our administration, we honor the indispensable role Black Americans have always played in the immortal cause of another date, 1776. We like 1776. In the very first skirmish of the Revolutionary War at Lexington Green, an enslaved Black man named Prince Estabrook. You know Prince Estabrook? Yeah. Answered history's call and fought as the Minutemen alongside the other patriots of the very small Massachusetts town. Couldn't protect itself, but they did a good job. Prince was wounded in the early morning battle, becoming not only the first African-American soldier to fight in the Revolution, but among the very first Americans to spill their blood. One of the first in the nation to spill blood in that very, very tough time. Soon Estabrook joined the
1619,
Continental
first
Army
year
and
slaves arrived in
ultimately won
America.
his own
Is that
freedom
true?
along with that of his fellow Americans. His
Yeah, I didn't even know
legacy
that.
will endure, and we're very proud to honor him today. It's a very important day in our country, and we honor him. First person to spill blood happened to be Tim Estabrook. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we will be including the statue of Prince Estabrook in our new National Garden of American Heroes. We're going to be doing a garden of American heroes, and now that I think of it, I must tell you,
The
sadly,
gods only know what
most of
grand...
them, I guess all of them are not with us any longer.
Okay.
I was going to put Tiger in the garden, but maybe you don't want to be there. I maybe should wait a little bit, huh? Like about 50, I think I'm going to wait about 50 years, all right? But Tiger's going to make it, okay? But I'm a little afraid to tell him yes,
I don't
because
know.
he'd be the only one that's living. I don't know, Tiger. Tiger's rejecting that offer, right? Under the executive order I signed last month, this new beautiful outdoor statue park is going to be a statue park. It's going to be unbelievable. We're picking the final sites now. It's between various states that want it very badly. We'll honor hundreds of our greatest Americans to ever live, including countless black Americans, icons. The garden will predominantly feature incredible women like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin, and Coretta Scott King. And I will showcase it will be something very extraordinary. It's going to.
I think this is the best mood he's been in for the
we're
entire
going to produce some
time.
of the most beautiful works of art in the form of a statue from men like Frederick Douglass,
Am I
Booker T.
wrong?
Washington, Jackie
Yeah, he seems
Robinson.
like he's actually
What a
really
great
having a good
athlete
time.
That was Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali. He's not a bad athlete. What do you think, Muhammad? Not too bad. And the late Kobe Bryant. People love Kobe Bryant.
They're making a statue of Kobe Bryant?
And we're going to save Tiger Woods for another time. That's all that I can. I'm sorry.
Shit!
During Black History Month, we pay tribute to these heroes and to so many others. That's not simply because they're black heroes, but also because they are truly American heroes who inspire all of us, very much so. The theme of this year's celebration is African Americans and labor. And we want to thank all of the black workers, construction workers, and every other worker. They do a job like nobody can do, and we want to just thank them very much for their contribution. Tim, the contribution you've
Trump's
made, Tim,
such a
is
racist.
incredible. Opportunity zone, so many people.
Keep your friends close and your
He's
enemies
the father
closer,
of
right?
Opportunity Zone. I'm just the son. He's the father, because he came into the White House, the Oval Office, with this idea. And it's probably the #1 economic development project ever
Did
in
Trump
our
just
country.
say it's Jesus?
And I want to give Senator Tim Scott the credit for it. Good job, Tim. Of course, millions of blacks were first brought here in slavery, and they were kept in that evil condition for really generations. But because of the steadfast faith and courage of so many patriots of all colors, we abolished that horrific institution, expanded civil rights, and advanced America's destiny as one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. Just a few months ago, the people in this room and millions of other black Americans played their own part in the American story when you went to the voting booths and restored a nice, good, solid government. And there's a guy that really There's a man that really helped. You really are great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't forget. I'm proud to say that we received, listen to this, more votes
like,
from black Americans than any Republican president ever. Not even close. Almost 40% of the vote. Now, I won't be happy the next time. Should I run again? You tell me.
Boys, that
There's your
70%
right
isn't
there.
looking too crazy,
There's
is
your
it? Hey! Hey! Boys! I told you this shit was gonna happen.
You'll be seeing that on you're gonna see that tonight, Tim, on television.
Oh,
I want to thank just a few of the people who are with us today.
Brock
And
was
these
right.
are great friends of ours. Alveda King. Alveda, where are you?
machine spirit.
Alveda? Hi, Alveda. Thank you. You've been with me from day one, and I appreciate it. I won't forget it. She's a fantastic woman. Alice Johnson. Where's Alice?
Man.
Boy, are you incredible. I watched you on last night on
80%
television.
now?
You were so good.
Yeah.
You know, Alice was in prison for doing something
That's
that today
fucking
probably wouldn't even be
hilarious. Oh my
prosecuted.
God.
She spent 22 years in prison. 22 years.
That's a long
She had another
time.
22 years left. Can you believe it? And I pardoned her, and it was one of the best pardons. One of the best pardons. You know what she was on? She happened to be on the wrong telephone line. Is that true? She was on a telephone call. And I'm not saying it was perfect, but it wasn't worth 40 or 50 years, Alice. And
the best
you've been an
pardons.
inspiration to people.
There's never been a
And
better.
we're going to be listening to your recommendation on pardons. You're going to go over, and you're going to be. She's going to be my pardon czar. Okay.
So they're just going to let people out.
And you're going to find people just like you that should not. Should not have happened.
Honestly, that's a
It
great
should not have
idea.
happened. So you're going to look and you're going to make recommendations.
Yeah,
and I'll follow
I'm gonna
those
be real. I think that's a great
recommendations,
fucking
okay,
idea.
for pardons. All right. Thank you very much.
Especially for like
A man
residual,
who's
like
just
racial shit.
incredible. This guy, I watched him.
'Cause it does happen.
I watched him when he was a Democrat, and then one day he had to change because he couldn't take it any longer. And
We're one
does
step
anyone
closer
ever
to the
hear
gaming
of?
czar.
Did anyone ever hear of a man named Leo 2.0 Terrell? Where are you? Get
One
up!
step
Get up
closer
here.
to the gaming czar.
I love this guy. You know what he's doing now? He's with the Department of Justice. He's in charge of civil rights and lots of other great things. He's going to be working with Pam. It's okay. Could you come up, please? Come on, Leo. Get up here.
They take a lot of people that have crazy charges for weed. A Biden WC
Leo
actually
2.0. This guy is great. Thank you.
Nope.
I just want to say we are in the presence of the greatest president of all time. He is the greatest president in our lifetime. And I'll tell you right now, the Democratic Party should be a worry because they took us for granted. No longer. We vote in our best interest. We want the same thing that every American wants. Good job. We want a secure border. We want to pay lower taxes, and Mr. President Donald Trump is doing that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, true.
He's a great guy. No, I watched him. He was a radical Democrat. He
racist.
became a radical Republican, right?
This is,
He's
yeah.
great. He's in the Department of Justice. Think of it, doing very important work at the highest level. Also, Sage Steele. Sage, where are you? Hello, Sage. Great job you're doing. You're doing great. Thank you very much, Sage, for being here. Michael, Harry O. Harris. Michael. Hi, Michael. Thank you very much, Michael. Deontay Johnson. Deontay. Thank you, Deontay. Lynn Patton, she's worked for me for a long time. Lynn, she's worked for us for a long time. Bob Woodson, where's Bob?
Bro, is he even filming? Yeah, they're just looking at him.
And we're also joined by seven-time Mr. Olympia. I want to see this guy. Phil Heath. Where's Phil? Phil Heath, I don't want to compare my muscles. Here he is. Thank you, Phil, very much.
Oh, shit.
I appreciate it. Will you come up here for a second?
Oh,
come on, get
shit.
Up. I gotta say, come on, you.
There he is.
From day one, right? From day one, he's been here. Get up. You gotta
Bring
say
him in
just
here?
a word. Don't fall. If you fall, it's all over. Thank you. You're not allowed to fall. You know, you can make a great speech,
There he
but if
is.
you fall going up, that's no good. Come on. Wow.
Are you kidding me? Mr. President, it has been an honor of a lifetime to support you, to try to wake up as many people to the lies of the Democrat Party.
Did he win 7
and the
times?
non-stop manipulation of the mainstream media. That's why I now have my show on Newsmax so I can champion you.
That's
and I'm
crazy.
thankful that we've been able to champion him and get him across the finish line for another amazing 4 years. And let me say, I know God has chose you. He anointed you for this position. He kept you alive so you could be here today. And we prayed for that. We pray for you. We continue to pray for you. And we're thankful for your service and your sacrifice. Mr. President Donald J. Trump, honor. God bless you. Thank you.
Man.
From day one. I like those guys from day one. Tiger's been there from day one, too. Let me tell you, this guy is amazing. In 4 weeks, our new administration has achieved more than most administrations achieve in 4 years. We brought our country back. It's 4 weeks. Today is our 4th week, the end of the week. We are now starting our 5th, and I think we've done more in 4 weeks. Well, certainly than the last administration did in 4 years. They actually went negative. They actually went in the wrong direction. Together, we're going to be fighting long and hard for Black Americans and all Americans. We're going to be fighting for all Americans. We've secured a border, and we're stopping the invasion of our country. You know, our border right now is more secure than it's ever been. And we had the record. 4 years ago, we had the record. We had the lowest number in history, and now the numbers, Tim, are even lower than they were then. And we're honored that we're allowing people to come in from all over the world, from prisons and jails, mental institutions, insane asylums, gang members. They had drug dealers. They had everybody dropping in. And we had this ridiculous open border policy. They drop in. And I'll tell you, the people that were affected the most were Black people. You were affected the most in terms of the crime, in terms of the drugs and everything else. And we have the border shut down. We allow people to come in. We want people to come in, Tim, but we want them to come in legally. They're going to come through legally. So we're protecting American workers, including millions of Black workers, and we have a thing called reciprocal tariffs. If they charge us, we charge them. This is opening up. We just signed the bill, and we're going to take in billions and billions of dollars, and we're making our country very healthy again and very rich again. We want to be very rich again. We've been taken advantage by everybody, and you've been watching Doge, where we found billions, tens of billions of dollars of fraud and waste and abuse, and that's just the beginning. And Elon Musk has done an amazing job. I have to say, him and his super geniuses, seriously high IQ people. Nobody's going to talk them out of it. Millions of dollars that we just started. I think that's going to have a big impact on Greg. So we want to just really say, and I have to say to you, I look at this right now, I look at the ridiculous love. I remember the first time I did this, my first administration, one of the meetings, there wasn't as large a crowd tonight. We had about 5 people in the front. 5 Black people right in the front, right about there. I said, is anybody else? This is it?
Yeah.
Are we all? I don't even think Tim Scott has there. I don't think Tim Scott
right now.
But that's all changed, and we got and one of the big reasons I'm president today is because of the platform, and I just and I always do. It's Black History Month. We love you all. We're going to work with you. Make America greater than ever before. Thank you all for being here. It's an incredible honor. My great golfing friends, I want to thank you in particular because they really are. They make us They don't need this, but they love you and they love our country. Thank you.
Holy fucking shit. I did not. That was not on the big. Wow. Both deserved. I mean, I think that. Look, I know Michael Jackson, some of that stuff is a bit weird, but I think we need a statue of Michael Jackson. That's my opinion, right? That's where I'm at. That's what I believe, right? I think that'd be it. My president, yeah, 100%. And Jordan, I mean, like, yeah, Michael Jordan as well, 100%. But, yeah. And Jackson or Jordan? I feel like if you had to pick between Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan, I would pick Michael Jackson. And honestly, it's close. Like, Michael Jordan is probably like the most iconic basketball player of all time. But, like Michael Jackson's on another level. Like, and also you can do both, right? I mean, just give her somebody else's statue, right? Like, yeah, exactly. Michael Jackson worldwide? Yeah, exactly. No, it's good. It's funny for me to watch this because this seems like he was in a better mood doing this than anything. Like, this is the most energy and the most enthusiasm that I think that he's ever had.
I have no problem with the employers here saying, what did you do last week? And if you can't come up with 5 things that you did, you know, maybe you shouldn't be employed here. So, again, this is an easy task. It happens in the private sector all the time.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy throwing his support behind Doge's latest push.
That's good.
For greater government accountability. Elon Musk now requiring federal workers.
Why is he dressed like this? This is so unnecessary. You do not need to do this. What is this?
And federal workers to list 5 accomplishments from the past week. And if they do not respond to his email, they face losing their job. Deadline set for midnight tonight. Fox Team coverage begins now.
I think that the reason why they're doing that, by the way, is so they can have grounds for dismissal by not following an official order. And it's actually not even about a actual temperature check. It's just so they can have one reason to remove people from their job without having to pay them any sort of severance or anything like that. That's the real reason.
With Kim Strassel on deck, but first, FBN's Hillary Vaughn live on Capitol Hill. What can you tell us
multiple reasons,
about
but
this
that's
latest
one of them.
attempt by Doge to reduce waste?
Hi, John. Well, it's triggering a lot of people, and it's hitting a nerve. While most Americans would love for an opportunity to brag to their boss about all the things that they got done last week, some people working for the government, paid for by taxpayers, working for taxpayers, think that they are too good for that. Democratic Senator Tina Smith attacking Musk over this, using her favorite D word, and it's not Democrat. Smith saying, quote, "This is the ultimate D-boss move from Musk, except he isn't even the boss. He's just a D." Musk said,
Ho's mad. Like, that's my opinion on this. Yeah, it's like, who gives a fuck, man? Like, she wants to get mad about this? Who cares?
he's already received a large number of responses and says those people should be considered for a promotion. Other